Yo, Big D here on a Thursday night, recapping maybe the worst Thursday night football game we've seen in a long time between the Indianapolis Colts and the Denver Broncos. Before I tell you about this awful, crappy, pathetic game, please subscribe, like, and share the Spunky Spectrum Sports YouTube page where you can not only see this stream but see all my content. Hopefully, we get better games in the future. Also, check out the Big D podcast for your audio listeners on Spotify and Apple. So, how much did Amazon pay for these Thursday night football games? I think it was what, 11 billion? And this is what you get: the Indianapolis Colts beat the Denver Broncos 12-9. That's right, 12-9. A field goal festival in Denver tonight. Oof. I must say, this is one of the worst Thursday night games I've ever seen. 7 field goals, no touchdowns, 4 turnovers, and a bunch of befuddled Denver fans. And, be honest, the smart Denver fans might have been the ones who left before overtime because they knew what was going to happen. But a couple storylines to me. One, that Daniel Hackett may be the worst coach I've ever seen in the NFL. How can the Denver Broncos be so bad in the red zone? They're what? 3 of 14 in the red zone. 3 of 14. 3 of 14. I mean, you've got a Hall of Fame quarterback, all those great young weapons, and yet the Broncos are so pitiful in the red zone. I mean, you look at the last 2 drives for Denver. Interception just before the 2-minute warning. And an incomplete pass that gave the Colts team. I never thought I would see a Russell Wilson-led team struggle so much in the red zone. I don't know if it's quarterback. I don't know if it's the coach. But to me, I think it's more the coach. You don't see Andy Reid teams struggle in the red zone. You don't see Tom Brady struggle in the red zone. You see crappier teams with lesser quarterbacks without the known head coach. You might see a Detroit Lion team, maybe not this year, but in the past struggle in the red zone. But you don't see an offensive-minded head coach with all those weapons and one of the best quarterbacks struggle so much in the red zone. But in a game with Matt Ryan and Russell Wilson tonight, both quarterbacks were sacked a combined 10 times and threw 4 interceptions without throwing a touchdown. I mean, Matt Ryan was 26 of 41, 251 with 2 picks, while being sacked 6 times. And Russ was 21 of 39 for 274, 2 more picks, while being sacked 4 times. That's not a great stat line by either quarterback. One guy's probably going in the Hall of Fame. The other guy won an MVP. Let me tell you about some of the stats of this game. Both teams combined 6 of 31 on third down, roughly the same plays. Denver rushed the ball a little bit better, combined for 0 of 6 in the red zone, 15 penalties, 4 turnovers. Boy, if I apologize to use anybody on fantasy outside maybe the Alec Pierce 8 for 81 put up a decent game, but nobody maybe if you use like the kicker, but Chase McLaughlin or the Bronco kicker Brandon McManus, thank you. But to me, I can't explain. I don't know how the Broncos cannot execute more in the red zone. I mean, why are they even throwing it on 3rd and 4 or 5 when Indy's out of timeouts? You run the ball there because you get the first down, the game's over. And even if it's short of the marker, you could kick the field goal because the Colts have not proven to get anywhere near the red zone. They've sucked all night. Matt Ryan's run for his life because he can't move. The Colts couldn't protect him. If you run the ball, you can either win the game or make it where the Colts need a touchdown. Instead, you do neither, and you give Matt Ryan another chance, and look what happened. I thought the Denver Broncos were good this year. I thought the Colts were good. I mean, how the Colts beat the Chiefs in week 3 is something, but the Denver Broncos, quite possibly, are one of the most disappointing teams I've seen in recent time. They're 2-3, and those 2 wins are against the Houston Texans and Jimmy Garoppolo, who ran out of the end zone like he was Dan Orlovsky for the 0-16 Lions. But I feel bad for all the people who paid for Amazon Prime. Heard Herb tweet out Michael say, Thursday Night Football. This looked like a great game for the season, and we get a field goal fest. Boy, if you put a few bucks on a no touchdown game, you're gonna be counting your winnings in the morning. But or Colts money line maybe plus 3.5. But if you put like Denver minus 3.5, you are pulling out your hair thinking, how the Broncos blew this game. But I mean, this game looked nothing like what I thought a Week 5 matchup between the Colts and Broncos would look like. No Jonathan Taylor, no Javonte Williams, so both young running backs gone. And then Shaquille Leonard missed the game with concussion. Naheem Hines was out. And then so Garrett Bowles limp off late. And enjoy some. I mean, Thursday Night Football talk for the guys you're playing on short rests. It's like a pitcher coming back on 3 days rest, but you know, I don't know what to say. I mean, how the Colts won this game. I mean, way Indianapolis season ago would have been appropriate if they ended up in a tie. It would have been what 1-2-2. I heard people on Twitter saying it would have been like an old school hockey record when hockey games ended in ties. Now they have shootouts. Well, I'm wondering what the it's what 10 o'clock in Denver tonight, and I would have to say the media might not be having fun tonight. Yeah, I mean the Denver Broncos won primetime a lot the first 6 weeks. They're on the opening Monday night, week 3 Sunday night, tonight, and then next week they're in LA for Monday Night Tail against the Chargers. Yeah, that might be a mistake now. I think I'd rather have Bills Chiefs, but CBS will be off in that game next week. Maybe they need to let Richard Sherman play a little bit. Throughout the game and during the game, Wade Phillips, who used to be the defensive coordinator in Denver, said both teams should punt on first down. At least you won't have a turnover. You just get the ball to the other team. Maybe the Broncos would have won the game in the last drive if they had just punted. But, you hope for Thursday Night Football you get a game like the Chargers and Chiefs. Instead, you get this game. Oh, wait, and next week it's the Washington Commanders against Chicago Bears. Just to be glad that game's not in London or Berlin. I would only make. So the Indianapolis Colts are now 2-1, while the Denver Broncos all 2-3 on the young season. So I know it's late, but thank you for tuning into this short stream. Hopefully, we get better Thursday night games than this because that was not fun. I mean, that was not fun. Whether you sign up for the Amazon Prime or watching on Twitch. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.